What's up? I'm back. It's been a while since I did a video for this channel. Um, Today I'm going to talk about milk and is milk good or bad? And I have probably mentioned this not on this channel about this before and a long time ago, like probably around the time I tried to do vegetarianism, right? That was probably around 2009. No, way before that actually. 1999 to about 2002. And it was crazy because when you deal with milk, milk is a very controversial subject. Not as much in alternative health community, because in the alternative health community and the holistic community, they just assume milk is bad, right? So from their point of view, you ask an alternative healer or practitioner, should you drink milk? They'll say no, right? And this is part of the reason why I don't do videos on this channel as much as I do in the spiritual channel, only because I think when it comes to health, the physical world, like you have to research everything, right? So if you don't research spirituality, you be in trouble too, right? But I think with health is worse. If you don't research health from many different angles, you can lead people the wrong way. And when it comes to the topic of milk, it's easy to say milk is bad. It's easy to try to use common sense and say, well, milk is, um, you know, it's from cows, and no mammals drink another mammal's milk. And I've used this and said that on video, right? And I think in 2009. Um, and yet, as I get more experience in the topic, I realize, and I first learned this from Ayurvedic medicine, Indian medicine, where they would say, well, if you warm milk up, not hot, but if you make it, if you warm it, put some spices in it, it actually, you could actually digest it better. And I tried it, and it does work, right? So then I said, well, is milk that bad? And I still said, well, you know what though, the Indian way of doing things might work for Indians, and it might work for Caucasians because they're closer in DNA to Indians. But if you were like black or Hispanic and you try that, even East Asian, right? So the Chinese, Koreans, like East Asians are famous for being lactose intolerant, right? So then I said, well, yeah, you can warm it up, put some spices in it. It changes it definitely, but I still think if you're lactose intolerant, you can't drink it. And to me, at the time, I said, well, if you're lactose intolerant, that's just a more extreme way of your body telling you you can't drink it. But all because you may not be lactose intolerant on paper doesn't mean that your body doesn't like that your body likes milk and your body wants you to drink milk, right? So I said, well, obviously, if you're lactose intolerant, you can't drink it. But even if you're not, if you're having digestive issues, but it goes away, or even if you don't have any problems, you still obviously not supposed to drink milk because it causes a lot of mucus. And obviously, shoot, other mammals don't drink other mammals' milk. But this is the reason why I kind of want to explore shamanism as well on both my channels, because I do think what ends up happening is that people don't really realize the human being is very unique. In fact, when you deal with the concept of microbes, which is in the stomach, which helps you digest, the only organism that has probably more diverse microbes than human beings is actually primates, right? Which human beings are primates, right? But when you look at primates like the great apes, right, orangutans, gorillas, animals that are from our lineage of descendancy, they have probably more. But other than that, primates, humans included, have the most diverse microbes out of all animals in the animal kingdom. So, and they deal with digestion. So when you say, well, human beings are um, mammals, or no mammal drinks no mammal's milk, that's true. But then when I discovered that, I started calculating that scientifically, it made something the shamans used to say a long time ago, right? It made it more obvious that was reality. Meaning, the shamans would always say, well, the human being is unique in the sense that we're kind of representation of all animals. And because of our connection to the spirit, and this doesn't mean we're better than animals. In fact, for the shamans, animals and plants were our teachers. And shamans sometimes shake their heads when human beings have this kind of humocentric belief system that pretends that the human being is a superior species in nature. Any shaman knows that's crazy. Absolute crazy talk, right? But the shamans would say every animal, some the elementals included, or elemental spirits, are trying to add themselves to the human blueprint. So what that means is, even some people who study cows always find it interesting that cows produce an enormous amount of milk. If you look at most mammals produce milk that's enough for their offspring. But cows produce, just like bees, produce an enormous amount of honey that doesn't make logical sense. Cows produce an enormous amount of milk, and it's hard to say why because they actually produce more milk than their offspring can consume, and that's because cows being domesticated in shamanism, you understand that that's a special. Human beings have a special relationship with animals that they domesticate, um, and in a sense, the cow is trying to add. You could even say their DNA, but their essence into the human equation. So in a sense, it's almost like family. So when they give milk, it's like an offering, and people will say, "Okay, that's metaphysical mumbo jumbo. Scientifically, are we supposed to be drinking milk?" Here's the problem. If you go in the store and you drink pasteurized milk, you're not supposed to drink that, right? So if you drink pasteurized milk, the problem is if you're on a farm and you drink raw milk, right? Even people who are lactose intolerant found that if you drink like a shot of raw milk in the beginning, if you drink a whole bunch, you're gonna get sick, right? But if you drink a shot, then you drink a glass, and after a month, you drink regular glasses of milk. Lactose intolerant people can drink raw milk, and they say why? And that's because when it comes down to it, when you deal with milk, if it's raw, it actually has enzymes that your microbes can digest. That's what happens. And because they can digest it, it ends up being a raw milk, ends up being drinkable to people who are lactose intolerant. So the whole beef with milk is actually the way milk is processed at this point. Now, it's hard to get raw milk. Even in California, you can't. In fact, any place in America, I don't think you could buy raw milk in the store. It's illegal. That's why. It's done on purpose. Now, don't get me wrong. I do think raw milk, it's hard to sell that because it can get spoiled obviously quicker. So I can see, so I don't want to get into conspiracy and say, well, it's illegal, they want to kill you. I don't really think that's the case. It's just that it's not accessible. Like, basically, if you're going to drink milk, if you're not on a farm, you shouldn't drink milk. So everyone watching this video, 99% of you should not drink milk. Right? If you don't have access to fresh raw milk, it's not good for you. But I do think, because I'm always coming from the scientific angle first. In science, you want to get things exactly the way they are. So yeah, I could not address the topic. I could say, well, I said on video, oh no, you shouldn't drink milk. So let me keep to that. But I realized, well, scientifically, it's possible that you can, but the circumstances have to be right. And that's actually why I do think the wisdom of the shamans have to be explored a little bit, because, when people look at plants and animals, they treat it very material. But the plants and animals, and rocks, minerals represent a type of wisdom and energy that, as human beings being the younger species, we learn from them. So there's a lot of things that we take for granted, or there's a lot of truths that we think are truths, but only from the human angle. When you go to nature will shut you down and realize that's not truths. So should you drink milk? Probably not. If you're in a farm, if you have access to raw milk, should you drink milk? In that case, yes. Hope this helps. Till next time, peace.